welcome back. I'm Brittany with Confident Girl Confessions, and this is Christina with Girl with Greens. And today we're going to be talking more about kitchen hacks.
Yes.
Lay it on me. What you got?
Okay, so the last video that you guys watched, I broke it down and helped make it simple for you to like elevate your life, supercharge your health. So today we're going to be talking about kitchen hacks, like specifically what can you do in the kitchen around food to kind of streamline, make it more efficient, because most of the people that I work with, especially me, I know like I used to have time to make these long, lengthy dinners, and now that I'm focused on building businesses, it's like time is of the essence, right?
There's like no time to do anything but
no. And so I really had to create systems and habits and rituals in order to make my food choices still good and still healthy, but set myself up for success and put the least amount of time in that I can to get the most out.
Because you know more than anybody how important healthy food is. Being able to maintain that amount of energy.
Absolutely, especially for people who are playing life at a higher level, that are entrepreneurs, business-minded, trying to build businesses. You know, it is so critical for you to be able to continue to have a clear mindset, mental clarity, creativity to continue. And if you don't have your health and you aren't eating optimal food for energy and vitality to help you do that, you're not going to be as efficient and as effective as you possibly could.
Right, which will only lead to frustration.
Yeah, and we really here want to help you be the best you can be and elevate your life in every area so you can be playing at a world-class lifestyle.
Yeah,
world-class level. So the first one I want to talk about is food prep. That's an easy one. So a lot of people have heard this. A lot of people even tried food prep. So my husband and I, here's what I used to do and what did not work. So I would do my grocery shopping on Sunday, and I would do my food prep on Sunday.
That's a lot of work.
That was so much to do. So like after grocery shopping and getting everything done, and the food, it's like you're exhausted just after the grocery shopping.
Especially when you're buying for the whole week.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
it is. So what I do now is I usually break it up. Like Saturdays, I'll usually try to get knocked out the grocery shopping, and then Sundays, I've just chosen for us, it just makes sense with our schedule. It's a great day for food prep. So obviously having a list of the things I'm gonna buy sets me up for success, and I'm not forgetting stuff, and I'm not making bad choices and choosing the goldfish or the Pop-Tart.
Oh, come on, but they're so good.
Over the kale and the avocado. And
I'll have the avocado.
And the gluten-free pasta.
Oh,
right? So that's a great thing. But so with food prep, there's a lot of things that you can do on a weekend or on a specific day or specific evening after work, whatever works best for your schedule, that can kind of help gear you up. So one of my favorite things to do is like when I get all my veggies home, if I know I'm going to be making like a bunch of salads throughout the week, which I always do, maybe I'll cut up my cucumber and I'll cut up the celery or whatever kind of veggies. I'll kind of go ahead and cut those up, pre-cut them, and put them in little individual food containers. So that way, throughout the week when I'm making my salad, I'm
really
not
easy.
having to cut everything up all over again. I'm just portioning it out, throwing it in the salad bowl, boom, moving on. Grains is another easy thing. You can do this with rice and quinoa and like other grains like millet and lentils. You can cook up a big batch ahead of time, kind of let it cool, and then you can put it in the freezer. And then you can just take out little portions throughout the week as you need, or take out enough for the week, and then maybe the following week take out more. So it's just, you're maximizing your time there. You're not having to always boil water and wait 15 minutes or for your quinoa, or 30 minutes, 40 minutes for your rice or for your lentils. So
yeah, it's already there.
just a way to streamline and make in bulk, right? So everything that we can do, if we're going to spend the time doing it, why not make more so it can go further?
Yeah, it completely makes sense.
So huge fan of that. I do that with a lot of the dishes that I make throughout the week. I'm like, you know what? I'll double batch this so my husband and I can have it, a couple of times throughout the week. I know some people, they hate eating the same thing day after day, whatever. But if you're trying to be efficient and effective with your time, good luck trying to eat something very different every single meal every day of the week. It's just not going to work. So I'm not saying I eat the same thing every day, but sometimes maybe what I have for lunch, then I'll have for dinner the next night, and maybe a day later I'll have it for lunch again, So I'll have a couple of meals that I kind of just interchange, and sometimes I'll change it up. Maybe I'll have, some sauteed veggies, for dinner one night. Well, the next day I can use those leftovers and put them in a wrap,
Oh,
like a
that's
gluten-free
easy,
wrap.
yeah.
So and maybe add some greens or something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of changing it up, but I'm still maximizing the time
You're
that I
being
spend.
still very innovative.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really big. What else? Oh, fruits, another thing we talked about, like mangoes earlier. We love mangoes. So if I'm buying like berries, not so much because they tend to go bad real quick when you cut them. But like other fruits, like mangoes or kiwi, because I just bought some kiwi at Costco.
Love kiwi.
I know. I was like, oh, I'm not a kiwi in farm. I'm gonna buy some kiwi. Kind of pre-cutting that up throughout the week. It just makes it so easy. One, to just grab and go. It makes it, you know, when you're not like, oh, I've got to cut this up. I'm gonna reach for this, you know, Pop-Tart goldfish that's ready to go instead of having to cut the mango. You've already set yourself up for success. It's prepped. It's ready to go. You don't have to think about it. I think too, finding a few key dishes that you can have in your back pocket, so to speak, that you like, that you really enjoy, that are quick to make. And this is a trial and error process because we all have different food preferences. We all have different tastes. Like I've got 2 different salad dressing recipes that I love that I use. And I'll kind of use those throughout the week to change up my salad, and I'll throw in different vegetables to kind of vary it up.
But it's the same basic concept.
Same basic concept. So when you can find a few things, you know, a smoothie recipe. I've got a smoothie recipe right now that I'm loving and digging. It's really high in protein. Again, since I'm pregnant, I'm trying to get a lot of protein.
Right.
They really harp on that. My midwife's big on it. My doctor's big on it. Everyone talks about protein when you're pregnant.
Right.
So I use a plant-based vegan protein mix. I add in cacao powder, which is a great superfood. It's high in iron, high in magnesium.
Nice.
It's from a cocoa plant, but it's not cocoa powder like the sweetened chocolate stuff we think of.
I was
It's
about
in
to say, that sounds really good.
It's not from the same plant, but it's just not processed. So it's raw. So it still has a lot of the great enzymes and minerals in it. Great for energy, and great for flavor. So I add that in. I also throw in coconut butter, coconut oil. Coconuts are great, especially like the fatty ones. One, it's great for your skin and for your hair. 2, it's got MCT in it. Those are medium chain triglycerides.
Very cool.
And the bulletproof coffee craze right now is huge with bulletproof coffee and the butter or the the coconut oil, which both have MCT oil, and essentially that's really good for mental focus and brain clarity.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's just
I've heard
a
about
great
it.
way to get a mental boost, an extra mental boost in the morning, and get really healthy fats that are good for our body and a good flavor, I think. And then I throw in frozen blueberries, fresh spinach, like half of a frozen banana. I try to be cognizant of fruits that are high in sugar. So a lot of people have heard of low glycemic foods and high glycemic foods, and like the sugar content, the glucose content, and how when you eat fruits, rather mostly foods, but a lot of it stems around fruits that are high in glucose, that spikes your blood sugar and can also kind of lead to weight gain. So if you're cognizant of that, you might want to cut out the bananas altogether if you're trying to lose weight. Bananas are still a great food and fruit, but if you're really trying to hone in on the weight loss, maybe switch to plantains. My husband does that because he can't have high sugar fruits with his diet. He's trying to do anti-inflammatory, so he switched to plantains. They're low glycemic.
They're the same. Yeah, they taste very similar.
Very similar. So instead of the banana with the almond butter that he would have as a snack, now he does a plantain with almond butter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I also add almond milk to my smoothies. I do almond milk or coconut milk. Again, non-dairy, plant-based, anti-inflammatory, a lot of like healthy properties to it.
Absolutely.
And then I just throw it all in my Vitamix. I'm a huge fan of the Vitamix. I think there's a few key things that you need in your kitchen to be armed and to be able to like make a lot of the dishes that are going to be healthy for you. One is a high-powered blender. Whether that's, you can use a Ninja. I've used one of those and then it died like after not too long. It started smoking on me because it just wasn't strong enough.
It wasn't really a Ninja.
I know Vitamixes or a Blend Tech, whatever, any of those they're quite an investment. I mean, they're a couple $100s, but they're worth it. Now, if you are on a budget, what you can do, and what I even did, because I was on a stricter budget at the time, was I got a refurbished Vitamix.
Oh,
that you buy directly from Vitamix. They've been redone. They still have the same warranty. They look brand new.
Who would have known?
And they're
That's
usually
awesome.
like $100 or so cheaper. And
That's
I've had
awesome.
mine now for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, and it works
Wow.
great.
That's awesome.
So there's just a little tip for you if you're like trying to save money. A food processor is another one that's great for making different dips and spreads and hummus and just all sorts of stuff. That's a great thing to have. You can have the little mini ones, but the big one is really kind of, it's going to be
Yeah,
helpful.
all inclusive.
Right. And then just like food storage containers, like I kind of talked about, kind of making sure if you do have plastic food storage, that they're BPA free, they're chemical free, because a lot of those chemicals wreak a lot of havoc on our bodies in ways that we don't want, whether
And
it's
you don't
screwing with
even
your
know.
hormones, screwing with your sleep, weight, all that kind of stuff,
Wow.
thyroid. There's so many different things that it plays a role in. So
It's so huge. And well, yet again, I'm still like blown away because it's not things you think about. You know, I never knew about like bananas and plantains and switching all of that out, and just making very small micro changes affects so much.
it does. And what's so neat about this is I always kind of call it like the health journey, right? So I don't know everything. And the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And so I'm always constantly growing and teaching others what I'm learning, but also growing and learning from other people in different areas. And I think that's important in anything in life, whether it's business, relationships, marriage, faith.
Your mindset,
Having
mental health.
mentors, and learning from other people and always growing yourself, because there's so much knowledge out there.
And not to be afraid of wanting those answers,
Exactly.
and not be afraid of changing to a brand new
brand new
diet.
a brand new diet, or you know, I think so many people get stuck, and I've been guilty of this too. You know, you preach something and you're so strong in your belief on something, and then you find this new piece of knowledge, right? But it can be really hard for us to switch what we believe when we're so strong or steadfast, especially when we're very vocal about it. But that's how we grow. And a lot of times admitting we're wrong, or saying, you know what, I thought this was healthy, I thought this was a great way. No, it really wasn't. I found some more better information, so now I'm going to make a better decision.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way to grow, is to learn more information, and if it fits with you and it's what you want, apply it.
Right. I think
You
one
know?
of the biggest things that I can pinpoint in like the health industry, agave nectar was so big for a while as being this healthy sugar substitute. And then a lot of research came out that it actually was not, just because of the fructose glucose makeup.
Right.
Even though it said it was raw, it's still very highly processed. It's very
Wow.
anti-aging. It's hard to digest. So it's,
Oh my gosh.
you know, there's always stuff that's changing and new information that's coming out. So don't be afraid to change and adapt with those. You
And
know,
don't be discouraged.
and don't be discouraged, like, oh crap, I was freaking buying agave nectar out the wazoo and using that instead, thinking, you know, don't get stuck in that mindset. Be like, okay, let's grow from this, let's change, let's get better. And when you can adapt that in everything through life, you're just going to continue to see breakthroughs, and you're going to just grow.
Yeah, if you can attack your health with that really strong positive mindset, imagine what else you're going to be able to attack with even more of the same thing.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Very cool. Obviously, that was so much content. It's just little things you just would never even think about, and it's all about having the courage to put yourself out there and learn more, and what fits best with you. And thank you so much.
Yeah. And
this
taking
is
the baby
so cool.
steps.
Yes.
Don't get overwhelmed. Like the biggest thing that people do is like they get information overload, but they don't take action. Instead, focus on mastering. Pick out 1 or 2 things that you've learned this week and work on mastering those, and then add in some others.
Yeah, because I think it all goes back to, you don't know how your body's going to react. You know, these are massive changes that you've been doing for 20 years. You don't know what these big changes would do to it. So obviously, if you're struggling with weight issues or anything like that you're wanting to fix, approach it in a healthy way. You know, I would talk to your doctors. I would outreach to any type of support group you have, whether it's friends or family. You know, have that accountability, have that workout buddy. You know, there's smart ways to go about revamping your life, basically. So just please make sure you're doing it in the best healthy way that you know how. And never be ashamed of asking for help or assistance or guidance. Along with that, if you ever want to ask Christina any questions, she's obviously Girl with Greens All of her contact information will be down below. Her Facebook, Instagram, all of that great stuff. And actually, we have something also fun in store. So on Sunday at 1, we're actually going to be doing a Facebook Live in Christina's kitchen. We're going to be doing some food prep. If you have any questions, write them down, remember them. Come and see us Sunday because we're excited to meet you guys.
Don't miss it.
Yes, we're so pumped.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.